Now that we are back together, throughout the first term, we've celebrated our diverse community with a range of events, such as Diwali, Halloween, Christmas, and the upcoming Chinese New Year celebrations. Dr. Choi, Dr. Mack, and Mr. Loggie will be performing the eye dotting of the lions. Eye dotting represents the awakening of the lions, empowering them to do their duty. This is known as the third eye.
Secretary for Education, Christine, if I may, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a real honor for us to be able to welcome you all today as the opening of this newly rebuilt campus of the ESF Island School coincides with the opening of Hong Kong to the mainland and the world, and indeed a significant step forward in attracting talents from all over the world. A big thank you to you, Secretary, Wendy and Philip and all your colleagues in government for the partnership and support over the last few years. We have been working together to tackle head-on many challenges.
Dr. Mack, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, and students, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to join you all today at the opening ceremony of the new campus of ESF Island School. In 2018, a capital grant of $536.3 billion was approved by the government for the redevelopment project. On top of this, ESF contribute around $600 million.
Our next speaker is Mrs. Belinda Greer, CEO of ESF. Mrs. Greer has been a constant figure throughout this project. She was with us when we moved out of Borrett Road to the campuses in Sha Tin, and she was with us on the first day of term celebrating the return home. Mrs. Greer, we are so happy to have you here again for this celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Greer.
Fiorelli and Charlie, thank you very much for that lovely welcome. I'm looking around and it's like a blast from the past. I see some people who have been with ESF and with Island School for many, many years, including someone who's in the photograph carrying his desk into what was the very first Island School. Dr. Choi, honoured guests, I stand here before you feeling pleased and relieved in equal measures. Pleased by the incredible facilities around us and relieved that the project was completed on time and on budget. And I have you to thank for that. Every single person here, you have each, in your own way, played a part. Today is important. It's when this new campus officially becomes ESF Island School. And that, of course, is a moment of great pride. But it's also a moment for us to pause and be reminded of the privilege and the responsibility that this brings. And I know how hard everybody worked to get all of the students in the school in August, but I do need to pause Dr. Choi and say a big, big thank you to EDB, to Wendy, to Philip and to the team, because up until the final hour we didn't know whether the children could come in with the full registration, and EDB went above and beyond to make sure that happened, so thank you to EDB for that. It's also an important day for staff and for students who are now back home at Borrett Road after a few years of being physically separated across two sites. Although I have to say, the separation never once dampened that famous Island School spirit. Our principal, Stephen Loggie, our school council chairs, Michael Locke and Alec Tong, have provided exceptional leadership throughout this project. There is no doubt companies can be encouraged to recruit internationally, opportunities can be opened up to ensure that Hong Kong is hugely attractive to the world's most talented individuals. but what we can offer these talented individuals and their families by way of an outstanding education for their children can, I'm sure, be the thing that gets some of these people over the line. Quite simply, by any measure, the international education that families have access to here in Hong Kong is world-class, world-leading.
Thank you, Mrs. Greer, for your inspiring words. We are so proud to be one of the first students to be able to study here at the new Island School campus. And we know that all of the students who follow us will love it just as much as we do. We would now like to invite Dr. Choi, Dr. Mack, Mrs. Greer, and our principal, Stephen Loggie, to come to the stage and unveil the special plaque to mark the official opening of Island School. We would now like to invite all the other VIP guests to join us on stage for an official photograph. Our final speaker today is Mr. Loggie, our school principal. On behalf of all our students, we would like to thank you for the support you have offered throughout the years.
Thank you very much for joining us here this morning. I'm very conscious at the moment that I stand here representing 3 of my former colleagues, one who's in the room, and countless others, and so many who have worked to bring this project to fruition. In terms of my closing remarks, can I say to the speakers that are before me, it was such a pleasure to hear you talk so eloquently and clearly about what the school stands for and where we're going. We agree 100% about the special and unique features that you talked to us about this morning. It was very heartening to know that that has reverberated into such a wide area. Can I say that it's very true, Belinda, and you reminded me many times before that a school is not a building, but sometimes during certain moments it's easy when you're in a building that's crumbling around you to say, I wonder what we could achieve if we had everything we desired. So today is a moment where we can step back from that. We've never used it as an excuse, but we do need to use it as an opportunity to remove our blinders and to imagine a new future where we continue to honour the wonderful traditions of this school. The extraordinary results that were mentioned to you before come on the back of getting first things first, which is developing students who have a global outlook and have the competencies that help them take their place on the world stage, and then to bring those talents into their communities to make the world a better place. And there's been no more important time in history where students need to do exactly that, because I'm sure they will be impressed by what they see. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Loggie. And thank you everyone for attending our ceremony today.